Stop pretending you were his son, my brother Caleb said. Mom left me the house, the savings, even her wedding ring. You get nothing because you disappeared when she needed you. His fiancée, Marissa, slid the will toward the judge while their attorney smiled. I sat alone with a thin folder and 3 unpaid days off from my county library job. They thought silence meant surrender. What they didn't know was why I had asked the court to examine the original document. 6 months earlier, Mom had fallen in her kitchen and fractured her hip. Caleb lived 10 minutes away, but visited twice in 3 months. I drove 90 miles every weekend, handled groceries, organized medications, and sat beside her hospital bed. Still, Mum defended him. He's under pressure, she'd say. The restaurant is failing. I knew the real pressure. Caleb had borrowed against his house, maxed 2 cards, and asked Mom to guarantee a business loan. She refused. After that, he told relatives I was controlling her money because I helped pay her bills online. Mom died unexpectedly from a blood clot during rehab. At the funeral, Caleb hugged me, then whispered, "Don't make trouble over the estate." 3 days later, he produced a will dated 2 weeks before her death. It revoked Mom's older trust, gave him everything, and called me an estranged son who provided no meaningful care. That sentence hurt more than the inheritance. Mom had squeezed my hand the night before that document was supposedly signed and asked me to bring her lemon cookies. Caleb changed the locks before probate even opened. He sold her car to a friend, cleared out furniture, and let Marissa post photos of herself wearing Mom's ring. When I objected, his attorney warned that challenging the will could leave me covering legal fees. I almost walked away. Then the rehab center mailed me a box Mom had left in her cabinet. Receipts, a crossword book, and a note in her shaky handwriting. "Marcus, check the blue binder if Caleb pushes again." Attorney called 2 witnesses, Marissa and a mobile notary named Grant Pike. Both swore Mom was alert and signed willingly. Grant said he'd checked her ID. Marissa cried, describing Mom's final wish to reward the child who stayed close. Judge Elena Ward studied the will, then turned to Grant. "You verified Patricia Lynn Mercer's identification?" "Yes, Your Honor." She tapped the signature line. "Then why is her middle name spelled Lynn here, with an extra E?" Caleb's face changed. 1 letter. But Mom had corrected that mistake her entire life. Her license, her trust, her checks, her medical records, her marriage certificate, all spelled it Lynn. The wrong spelling appeared in exactly 1 place. Marissa's public memorial post about her. Their attorney called it a harmless clerical error. Judge Ward might have believed that, if my folder had held only family records. Instead, I handed the court the rehab chart, showing Mom was sedated, the visitor log, and an email Grant had sent Marissa the morning after Mom died. I'd obtained it through discovery. I fixed the date and printed a cleaner version, he'd written. "Delete the draft with your tracked changes." Caleb stood up. "Marissa handled the paperwork. I never saw that email." Marissa turned on him. "You gave me the old trust to copy." That contradiction ended their performance. A document examiner confirmed Mom's signature had been traced from an old bank authorization slip. Printer metadata tied the will file to Caleb's restaurant office computer. Security footage from the rehab center showed him carrying the blue binder out of Mom's room hours after she died. Judge Ward rejected the fraudulent will, restored the original trust, and referred the evidence for criminal investigation. She ordered Caleb to return the ring, repay the value of the car, and account for every item he'd taken. Under Mom's repayment clause, most of his inheritance went straight to covering what he'd stolen. Outside the courthouse, Caleb said, "You destroyed this family." I looked at the ring, now sealed in an evidence pouch. "No, I documented what you did." Months later, I bought Mom's house back through the estate and turned her sunroom into a reading space for the neighborhood kids. Caleb sold his restaurant and took a plea deal for fraud. We don't speak anymore. I still grieve my mother, and sometimes my brother too, But family isn't protected by swallowing lies. It's protected when the truth is finally allowed to keep its proper name.